Hey there, my name is Michael Ligier. I am a senior at NYU studying business with a concentration in statistics and computer science. And for the next 5-10 minutes, I'll just kind of talk about a product that I have really fallen in love with over the course of the past few months called Masterclass. So the way that I'm going to do this is I'll break it into three main parts. I'll start off by looking at an overview of the company, what they do, how they position themselves relative to the competition. Then go into some specific product features within the app or on their mobile or desktop sites. And then finally talk a little bit about a more high-level impact that the company has as a whole. So to start off, Masterclass is an online course learning platform similar to that of Udacity, Coursera, edX, the list goes on and on. But Masterclass differs in two main ways. First off, Masterclass teaches more recreational skills and hobbies rather than the more academic and career-oriented learning that occurs with edX and with Udacity. Secondly, they bring in the world's best instructors to do so. So for example, the reason that I got interested in Masterclass is because I wanted to get better at cooking, and then I noticed that Gordon Ramsay and Thomas Keller had some cooking classes that I was interested in taking. You can also take classes in writing from Malcolm Gladwell, shooting and basketball from Steph Curry, and the list goes on and on. So I wanted to talk a little bit about its positioning relative to its competitors or other online learning sites, because I do think that that's a really interesting component of Masterclass. I'm not doing a blog post, so it's a little bit more difficult to have some graphics, but on the board here, we basically have on one end the more academic and career-oriented sites, and the other end more recreational. At the bottom we have more self-published sites, and then at the top more curated sites. So starting off with like Coursera and Udacity, we can see that they're highly curated in that Coursera works with the best universities in the world. Udacity obviously has teams behind their online learning platform. And it's also very academic and very career-oriented. So you can get from extremely theoretical aspects of Coursera to highly functional learning programming languages with something like Udacity. Then we move over a little bit and we see that Udemy is a little bit more self-published. So anyone can kind of create a course, post it on the site. Obviously it goes through a curation process to an extent, but there are a lot more courses that are offered from people that just want to teach. And then it kind of falls in between academic and career and then recreational, because at Udemy you can have courses on anything from programming languages and more technical aspects and learning materials, all the way through to things like yoga and meditation and things that are more recreational. And then finally, Masterclass is super interesting because it has kind of the best of both of these worlds. So one, it's highly curated, and the other is it teaches recreational skills and hobbies. And the reason that I find that fascinating is because there aren't really any companies that have taken a focus and have put real effort into creating very high quality content for the recreational community. So looking at that from a positioning standpoint, Masterclass really stands out as a product because it's really tackling a field and targeting a customer base that none of the other online course learning platforms are doing at a very precise level. Secondly, if we take a look at its customer demographics, just from an informal survey that I did online, it seems like Masterclass students tend to be a little bit older than those of Coursera or Udacity because they are at the point in their lives where they do want to focus a little bit more on their hobbies and on their passions. So that's a little bit about brand positioning and why I think that Masterclass is particularly interesting as a product from that perspective. Now we'll go into a little bit of the more product-oriented parts of this with features on its mobile application primarily, as well as its website. So there are three main aspects to course discovery, which is a huge component of Masterclass. First is search, second is the course site itself, and what you see when you first go to a course, and then finally is the course platform when you actually decide that you want to enroll in a course. So the first part of this is search, and search specifically on their mobile app is really different from anything that I've seen on any site before. The way that they do it, and it's a little bit difficult to kind of show this without the actual application, so I encourage you to download it and take a look. But the way that they do their course search is they actually have a grid of photos of all of the instructors, and you can pan around the grid in order to see all the different courses that they have. Now this is particularly interesting because one, you get to see the absolute breadth of the instructors that they have. So you can see that they have people ranging from like Malcolm Gladwell to Armin van Buuren and everything in between. But also you can see the breadth of the course offerings that they have and the types of learning that they're trying to teach. So that's kind of on the search side. And the other part is that it's very teacher oriented. So they're really highlighting that these instructors are the best instructors in the world and are people that are extremely reputable and willing to teach you all of this information. So that's a little bit about search. Moving on to the course site. When you actually click on a course and you're interested in looking at what it's all about, they focus on quality very, very extensively. So they have really high quality videos, they have trailers, you can view some sample lessons, and they're really about showing you that the course that they're producing is of an extremely high quality. Secondly, they do focus on tangible skills. So underneath the introductory information where they tell you what you'll be learning, they actually have specific skills that you can take away from this, because oftentimes when you're looking at recreational hobbies, it's a little bit more difficult to tangibly understand what you'll be learning. So it's great that Masterclass actually puts an emphasis on this aspect of it. And then both of these together have a lot of product features that encourage you to look at similar courses, whether it's the panning of the search, or in the course site itself at the bottom they have related courses which you might be interested in as well. And then finally, the course platform itself, again, emphasis on quality. There's a lot of very high quality videos throughout. They actually have a workbook, a companion workbook that goes along with it. And then every single course has its own unique design, its own unique filmmaking types of transitions and things like that. So you can see that there was a lot of attention put into these particular products. One last note on the product itself. Masterclass's pricing model is actually one where you pay, I believe it's around $180 a year, but you get access to all of these courses, again really encouraging the discovery of new courses and the ability for you to learn new things, which ultimately winds up in more loyal customers, winds up in happier customers as well, because they get access to all of this content for a flat fee every single year. So that's a little bit about some of the product features itself and why I find them particularly interesting. And then lastly, on a more high level, this product that Masterclass is offering really has a profound impact on the world, just because right now we see all of these course platforms emphasizing academic and career-oriented learning, but what we don't see is people really pursuing their hobbies at a more serious level. I think that we oftentimes today neglect the fact that yes, we have to advance our careers, but we do need to take some time for ourselves, develop our own passions, develop our own hobbies and things like that. And what Masterclass as a product does is it first says, hey, this is a site where whatever you're interested in, whatever you're passionate about, you can go and learn that. We have the materials for you to learn it, and we believe that it's worthwhile for you to learn it. But two, we're with you in learning that because we are bringing in the best instructors in the world to teach you that. So we're making a serious effort to show you that these hobbies and passions can turn into something more if you want them to. If you want to put in the time, if you want to put in the effort, you can learn whatever it is that you want to learn, and you can pursue it at a higher level than you actually did before when you were just kind of pursuing it on the side. So from a fundamental level, Masterclass is really opening up recreational learning to a lot of people and making it more serious than it's ever been before. My passion for education has kind of started when I was a freshman at Udemy, interning over the summer. I got really passionate about how we can increase access of education to a lot of different people. And over the course of time, I've seen a lot of companies pop up, a lot of different learning platforms pop up, but Masterclass over the past few years has really stood out to me, and I'm really excited to see where it goes in the future. So just to kind of sum it up real quick, Masterclass, I absolutely love the product. I love the courses that I've been taking through the platform. They have a really unique positioning compared to most competitors. They have a really solid product that encourages you to discover and explore more. And then from a high level, it has a really interesting impact on the world because it makes recreational learning a little bit more serious, which is something that I think every one of us can use a little bit more of. So that's a little bit about Masterclass, why I love the product, and thank you so much.